Welcome to Where in the U.S. Are the RIT Fits? Renovation Edition videos on YouTube. My name is Kara Rittenhouse, and I am restoring a classic 88 Holiday Rambler Presidential, which I bought at the end of June of 2018. My husband Mark is in the military, so while he is gone this next year, me and the kids are hitting the road. But first, we need to renovate our RV. Today, I'm sharing with you our transmission issues. We are finally making some progress on the RV. So I just spoke with the RV/truck shop that is working on our transmission, and they finally are anticipating its arrival any minute, as they said. So much that the RV is up on the lift and waiting just for it to get off of the delivery truck, and then they're going to start working on it. So today is September 11th, 2018. We were supposed to leave August 18th, and on the 17th I was bringing the RV down to get water tested where we bought it from, at the RV dealership, because I had replaced the toilet and then I replaced some faucets, and they needed to water test everything, make sure everything was working good. As I was driving down there, I stopped at a stop sign and I made a left-hand turn and I couldn't get out of second gear. And I realized at that point that the same thing, because we had actually broken down twice, where the car was losing power and I couldn't get it to go past 25-30 miles an hour. But at the time we thought it was a battery issue because our battery gauge was all the way down. And then I had broken down on the side of the road, then the car or the RV literally died. So we just thought it was a battery issue. We had already replaced the front battery, but I couldn't. So on an RV, you usually have a jump start. You can jump your the vehicle battery from your coach batteries, and there's a little button. Well, that wasn't working, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Turns out that there was a wire that was crossed in the front, because we actually did replace, because we were having issues with the battery. My father-in-law did replace the battery in the front of the cab. And then, but come to find out, one of the wires was crossed, so it wasn't working very well. The alternator was working, which was good, because we thought maybe it was an alternator because we already changed the battery. But they tested the alternator, that was working, and then that's when they found that the wire was crossed. So even though the alternator was working, it wasn't recharging the battery. So that was done. Then they found out that the RV batteries were not holding a charge. It would get charged up when we were running the generator, but it wasn't able to keep the charge even though we weren't working. It was just draining right away. So they were toast. So that's why we weren't able to jump the front battery with the coach batteries. So we thought we had that issue figured out, but then when I was driving it down there, I couldn't get out of second gear, and that's when I realized that what was the problem. I wasn't able to shift, or even though it's an automatic, it wasn't shifting out of second gear. So I putzed my butt down to the RV truck shop, which is right by the RV dealer, and they took it in. They tried to change one part thinking it might be that, and that didn't do it. They took it out for test drive and same thing, so they knew it was definitely the transmission at that point, which really sucks because it only had 57,000 miles on it. Yes, it's older, it's an 88, but we thought we were good to go. So that was really devastating to me, and I was just seeing dollar signs. Okay, good job.
I went on a harder one.
Good, that's good.
And I went all the way to the top.
Good. Okay, keep working on it. He's doing schoolwork. I was devastated at that point. I knew we were going to have issues with an older one and to expect repairs and that kind of stuff, but I had it inspected and you know, the RV dealer knew what I needed. Like, I was very blunt and upfront with them. Like, I want to buy a used one, but I want a good one that's not going to have problems. So, and then, you know, of course, in the inspection, it didn't get caught, which was a little frustrating, you know, and I think the truck shop that we were at, was disappointed too, because, you know, they inspected it, and like, we had gotten to know them through like the battery issues and like the everything else, and, you know, he knew what we were doing and that kind of stuff. So he felt bad, and he was disappointed that we were sold, you know, this RV too, that like, you know, the RV dealership should have known that maybe that they were having transmission issues, and that's probably why the people sold it to the dealership. I think you know, they probably didn't know. So our service manager, his name's Sean, he actually called the RV dealership and was like, so how are you gonna help her take care of this? And I was completely shocked and blown away. Like, I mean, I literally bought an RV like in as-is condition. Like, even though we had it inspected and, you know, whatever, I still purchased a used RV as is, signed the paperwork. Like, it was on me at this point. But of course, the RV dealer was also not happy that, you know, this had come up so soon. Like, they weren't expecting it, they didn't know about it, and they wanted to make things right, which honestly I was not expecting. And I'm so grateful that Sean picked up the phone and called them and said, hey, you know, this is what happened. This is what we found out, you know, like, let's work together and get this taken care of for her, because it's not fair to her at the end of the day to have to deal with this. Like, I literally haven't even left town, and I put a lot of money and effort into fixing up the inside of it. So they are going to be covering more than half of the transmission. And Sean had called around and found a really good transmission, with a really good warranty. It's 3 years, 100,000 mile warranty on it. So that's really good too, that we're going to have something that's going to have a warranty on it, even though it's an 88. Now it's rebuilt transmission that has a warranty. But it was supposed to be, so we broke down on a Thursday. We were supposed to be leaving on a Saturday. Friday, the transmission was supposed to be in. Never showed up. Phone call, they said Monday, Tuesday. Never showed up. Then we were told by the end of the week. Never showed up. Then the beginning of the next week, never showed up. And then I think the next Thursday, so Sean was great. I still had a couple little things to do on the inside of the RV, which I was going to do when I got to my sister's house. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but like little, you know, finishes that I needed to do. So I called Sean. I said, hey, can I just come down there and work on it? It's just like sitting in your parking lot waiting for this transmission. And he said, yeah. And I, you know, we'll hook you up to power and, you know, provide you anything that you guys need, which was super nice of them. And I was really grateful for that. So I would go down there. I went down a couple days in a row. And I was working in the parking lot, you know, for a little bit. The boys went with me. And one day Sean brought somebody out to me, and he starts apologizing for everything I was going through. And I was like, oh, it's okay. You know, like, cause the truck shop it's not their fault that the transmission isn't here yet. They keep getting told that it's on its way. It's coming. It's going to be here at this date. And it's like, we're at 3 weeks past due right now. And then Sean's standing behind him. He goes, no, it's not, Kara. It's not okay. And I was like, okay, Sean, like, I thought it was like his supervisor or somebody from the truck shop, like, because this place is huge. I mean, they have like 6 bays just for the RV truck shop, and then they must have like 30 bays on the other side for like their regular car, like oil changes and fixes and everything. It's huge. It's a huge place. So that, and then at that time I saw the guy's shirt and it said Advanced Auto Parts on it, and I was like, oh, are you the people that are getting our transmission? And he said, yes, I'm the regional manager for this. And Sean was just explaining to me what's going on, and he was super apologetic, which I really appreciated. You know, like, he didn't even have to come and talk to me. He could have just apologized to Sean and went on his way, but he took the time to come over and talk to me about it, which was really great. And, you know, he said, I can't promise anything, but I'm going to make some phone calls when I get back in, and, you know, we'll get this going for you. So that was on a Thursday. Didn't hear anything on Friday. Didn't hear anything yesterday on Wednesday, or on Monday, sorry. So I was a little bummed out. I'm like, I talked to this guy, you know, like, what's going on? Like, I should have got his phone number just so I could like call him all the time, but, it is what it is. So I was just, I mean, we're just sitting around waiting. But this morning I talked to Sean. It's Tuesday. Yes, you may take a break. Yes, you can. So I talked to him this morning, and he's like, Kara, it's on its way. We're anticipating delivery any minute. We've actually got your RV in the shop, up on the lift. Our tech is working on something right now, but as soon as that, you know, the delivery is made, he is going to be hopping on your RV, like your #1 priority for us, which is awesome. I'm so excited. So I'm anticipating, he said it's like a solid day's work to like get it reinstalled. So, you know, I'm thinking by tomorrow you should be able to pick it up. So in the meantime, I still have other things to do. Like I have to drain the water tanks. There's like a water tank in the back. So like you can boondock, like you have your own water tank. I have to drain that and sanitize it because the water coming out of the tap smells like really bad. When the RV was in at the RV dealership for the water testing, they just hooked the RV up to the hose part. So like there's 2 ways you can get water in an RV. You can either use your water tank that's built in if you have it filled up, or you can direct connect a hose and then it bypasses that system. So that's what they did for the water testing. Well, they filled up my gray tank doing that, so that's filled. So I have to drain that, which is something I wanted to do anyway because I haven't done that yet. And I know that there's a gas station down the street that has a dump station. So I'm gonna take all my hoses and go down there and figure it out because I've never hooked up anything or done that. So that's will be happening. And then I went ahead because I really wasn't sure at this point, like we're 3 weeks into it, how long we were gonna need for the RV to be fixed. I want to make sure that like I know how to do everything before we leave. I kind of want to do like, I want to live in it here at my in-laws house for a little bit, like testing everything out, making sure everything's working, that there's no more issues coming up, because at this point I don't want to take the chance on leaving the state and breaking down or something breaking along the way before I've like really tested everything out. So before we were trying to rush out of here so I could get my daughter to Massachusetts to go to high school, but when that all happened, I just stuck her on our plane and sent her to my sister's house. And she's doing awesome. She's on the volleyball team and she's doing great. So at this point, there's no rush to get anywhere, which is good. So I want to make sure that I have the time. And I ended up signing up the boys for a short 10-session hockey clinic that's out here in Minnesota. It's like their fall hockey program. So they have something to do 2 days a week. So, and that's only on Monday and Wednesdays. So on the weekends, I was thinking I could maybe take a short trip, like around here somewhere, to do some camping and make sure I know how to hook everything up or try boondocking and that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at now. So hopefully we will have our RV tomorrow. And then I have to pack it up and get going. So, just say a prayer for me about that. All right, I will be back with more updates on how everything is going, and you can come with me and see us picking it up in our drive back, and hopefully we make it back without breaking down. I got my RV back. Thank goodness. Here picking her up. I just paid for it, so got my paperwork. I got my warranty on the transmission, which is awesome. And I'm gonna go fill up propane and then be on the way to pack this baby up. Excited. So we made it back Is driving great? Driving great for you guys?
No.
Yeah, it's driving awesome, baby.
Yeah, and the pit's of fire.
We just passed the big fat piggy.
Oh, horses.
So we're going back to my in-laws' house, and we have to start organizing and packing all of our stuff in here. So that'll be fun and interesting. And since the boys grew out of most of their clothes, we're going to be probably donating a lot of that and getting rid of that. And I still have to get a lot of stuff because when we left San Diego, because we didn't have an RV yet,
And I'm foot
I
three.
had to put everything into storage. So like all my kitchen stuff that I was planning on bringing. I did buy some stuff on Amazon Prime Day. I stocked up. But there's still a lot of like little things I need to get. So I'll be doing that and getting things organized. So I'll show you all that soon enough. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Where in the U.S. Are the Rit Fits RV Renovation Edition. Please stop by and say hi on Instagram or Facebook. Links are found on our website, whereintheusartheritfits.com.